This is a chocolate mole. Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter by showing you some great reasons to visit Antigua, Guatemala, and answer the question you might be wondering, is it safe? The name Guatemala, to those unfamiliar, might conjure up wild jungles, volcanoes, and dangerous city streets. That reputation is not entirely undeserved. Guatemala has the world's 17th highest murder rate, and the UK's Foreign Travel Advisory page notes no parts of the capital Guatemala City are free from crime. Roughly 40 kilometers or about an hour's drive west of Guatemala City is Antigua. A UNESCO World Heritage Site with a population of 46,000, it's a tourist oasis. Most visitors to the country go straight from Guatemala Airport to Antigua, ideally with a private hotel transfer. And once you're in Antigua, it feels like a different world and time. It's easy to get here and bypass some of the troubled cities, so these are some of the best reasons to visit Antigua. So one great thing about being in Antigua, one great reason to visit, is that it's a very walkable city. So you do have to watch your step because you are on cobblestones and some of the sidewalks are not very even, but it is very walkable. They also have small tuk-tuks and motorbikes if you want to get around by taxi. But honestly, everything you'd want to see is within about a mile and a half, about 2 kilometer radius from the center. So it's very walkable. Streets are pretty quiet except for a couple of main streets and avenues that, crisscross the city, but there are a lot of quiet ones as well. Like this one, you can see not a ton of traffic. You get all these nice views and it's just a very walkable city. So yeah, another great reason to visit Antigua. And while you're walking, one of the nice things is there's so many hidden cafes and restaurants that you just walk past that you may not have heard of, that are just right in a wall. And you just turn around, and there you go, you find some great coffee or a great meal or just a great atmosphere, a nice place for you to enjoy a meal that might be a surprise that you didn't expect. Speaking of, the coffee in Guatemala is famous around the world, but I'm convinced they're keeping the best stuff for themselves. Coffee and chocolate, I might add, in Antigua will make everything else you've tried taste like an imitation. They might be good imitations, but the richness and varieties of the natural coffee flavors here are incredible. Double espresso inside, so I've got double espresso here, I've got my coffee here. I'm gonna be wired for the rest of the day, but I'm excited. Alright, I'm gonna get a big bite of that and show you. We've got powdered sugar on the top, chocolate on the bottom, and coffee on the inside for added flavor. And the chocolate here is something else. Hot chocolate here is simply melted chocolate without sugar or other additives, and desserts are flavored with just a few flakes of chocolate because otherwise it would overpower any other taste. The chocolate here is powerful and just so good. And one place you can go from the Fat Cat Cafe that's very close, just pretty much close to everything in Antigua because it is such a small town, is Parque Central, which is this central park, where around here you have a lot of things to see. There are a lot of shops, so if you want souvenirs or you want gifts, you can buy those. If you want to do some sightseeing, there is the cathedral right here, the San Jose Cathedral right here that you can check out, or you can sit in the park and enjoy your day, relax a little bit after your meal, maybe get a coffee and take it here and enjoy it in the park. So another good reason to visit Antigua is that although it is a small town, there is a lot to see here. Lots of different churches. This place in particular is San Francisco El Grande Church, built in 1541, and it shares a story familiar with many of the ancient buildings here. It was crippled by earthquakes in 1717 and 1751 after surviving several before it, but today the ruins of San Francisco El Grande, along with the reconstructed church, still stand. Ruins, lots of history, all very close, and the entrance fees are actually not too bad for foreigners. So it's about 40 quetzales to get in here, which is like $5 to get inside and take a look around some of these ruins. And there's just a bunch of these just all around the city. So it's a very interesting place to walk around and explore, in addition to all of the food. Alright, so another thing you might be wondering whether or not it's safe, and to be honest, yeah, it is. I mean, basically you just need street smarts, you know, watch your pockets, that kind of stuff for crowded areas where you have pickpockets pretty much everywhere. But I've been running around with this big ass camera, my phone, my watch on my wrist, and I haven't felt uncomfortable at all, not in the least. So it's totally fine to walk around with your camera and not feel paranoid. And there are cameras basically on every corner. I mean, there's a camera in front of every shop, in every corner. And I've been told if something happens, the police, and there are a lot of police here, basically in all the parks, around all the streets, around all the major sites in the markets. So there is a heavy police presence, and it makes the city very walkable. You're gonna feel very comfortable. It's totally safe. So just another good reason to visit here. I will add though that this is a very daytime city. In other words, things open up pretty early in the morning and they close not too late in the evening. So if you're going to be out and about past 10 or 11 when the streets are going to be very quiet, you might want to think about taking a cab back from like the restaurant, the bar you are, to the place you're staying, just to avoid walking around at night, you know, when nobody's out. But that's pretty much city common sense in most parts of the world, right? So nothing unusual, but just something to keep in mind. So another great reason to visit Antigua Guatemala is the food. In Antigua you have so many different types of food. You've got traditional food, which is full of a variety of flavors that are at least new to me that you may not have tried before. You have international food, you have vegan, vegetarian, you have meat, you have all of it. So you have a ton of good options in this city. It's very cosmopolitan. There's a lot of variety here. Considering how small of a town this is, there really are a lot of really good food options. And I have to say, the food is generally very good. They try to source a lot of the ingredients locally, which also is a really big bonus, and it makes the food better. But it's surprising that the level of food quality here is really high, so you don't really get too many crappy places. You know, you don't get too many crappy restaurants. You pretty much can walk into most restaurants and you're gonna have a good experience, because I think the bar for good food in this city is set pretty high. So if you make substandard or just average or bland dishes, or you're not creative, then you're not going to stay in business for very long. So there clearly is definitely a lot of competition here, and that has caused a lot of these restaurants to keep a very high standard of quality. Alright, so I did say it was a very walkable town, and I'm going to demonstrate that as I walk back to my hotel after having yet another massive meal that was really good. So I'll go with the people. The people here are very friendly, and considering how many tourists there are here, it could get very douchey very fast. The tourists aren't that douchey, and people who work and live here are not fed up with the tourists, so they seem to appreciate people. A lot of people here will try to speak English, or if you're working on your very broken Spanish like me, they will entertain you and help you learn and practice. So it's just another good reason that you want to visit Antigua. Alright, that was a pretty cool bus. So as we wrap things up here, I just wanted to add that it is a very laid back atmosphere. People are laid back and the days are kind of laid back, so it's just a great place to relax, explore, take your time. Nobody will be in a rush, but things are still pretty organized. So if you need a tour, or if you need some, you know, arrangements to get to your bus or your flight or whatever it is, people are pretty good about making sure those arrangements happen on time and as needed. So just another good reason to visit here is the laid-back nature of it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it maybe puts this town on your radar, or if it was already on your radar, hopefully it moves it up on your travel list of things to do. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And if you've been to Antigua and think I'm missing something, or have some other good reasons that people should visit, or maybe some places specifically in the town that they should see, let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week, and I'll see you in the next video.